What's going on, everybody? My name is Graffiti, and yes, you better tell right. Today I'm going to show you guys how to make your own 1v1 map. This will be the version 2 of the original how to make a 1v1 map, because although this is a new chapter, and although some things haven't changed about the creative how to make a 1v1, there are some changes, and I also want to show you guys how to make probably the cleanest 1v1 map for you and your friends to play in. So if you guys enjoy this video, please don't forget to leave a like down below and subscribe if you guys are new, and enjoy. Alright, and once you're in your creative hub, go ahead and go to your island, and we're going to create a new map. For this time, I'm going to select the Kevin Floating Island. And I'm going to delete all the islands, of course. And then I'm going to change the name to 1v1 map test. And then go into your Rift when it is done loading. Alright, and once you're done deleting all of the islands, pull up your map. And as you can see, I have a marker right in the middle. Just go and click that. Go to the middle marker. And you're just going to want to place one wall and one floor. And from here, we're going to go through the settings. So go to your game settings, voice chat. I'm going to change that to all so that you can chat with other people. And then max players, we're going to change that all the way to 50. Teams free-for-all, team size dynamic. Revert to default class at end of game. Spawn limit infinite. After last spawn, go to spectator. Total rounds, we're going to set this to 5. Actually, go ahead and change it to 100, considering the fact that it doesn't really matter. Team rotation disabled. Time limit, I'm going to have this on none. Fastest time wins. All teams must. And then scroll down to where it says last inning ends game. Make sure that's off. Join in progress. Spawn location, spawn pads, respawn type, individual, auto start. I'm gonna set this to 30 seconds. Game start countdown off. Vehicle trick score multiplier. If you're gonna add vehicles in your map, I would suggest you turn this all the way down to 0. Keep player built structures between rounds, turn that off. All out of bounds, I'm gonna have this set to on. Elimination score, I'm gonna have this set to 1. Go ahead and go to your settings after that, and then we're going to go to the starting health, 100 health, starting shields, 100 shields. Infinite ammo, I'm going to turn this on. Infinite consumables, I'm going to turn that on. Infinite resources on, and then maximum building resources, I'm going to turn that to 999. Harvest style, I'm going to change that to Battle Royale. And then allow building, all allowed to edit, default. Building can destroy environment, make sure that is off. Environment damage, make sure that is on player built structures. Player built only, structure damage, enemy and self built. And then down button out. Start with pickaxe, yes. It's kind of up to you, but in any case, I'm gonna have that yes. Eliminated players items keep, and then respawn time. Have this set to 3 seconds. Spawn immunity time 1 second. Fall damage off. Gravity normal. Jump fatigue. Since it's a 1v1 map, I guess you would probably want to turn that off, considering that you're just going to be cranking and jumping a lot of the time. Sliding on. Battery redeploy off. And then player's damage location, I'm going to turn that off. And then health granted on elimination, set that to... Actually, I should probably go the opposite way. Set that to 200. And then from there, player elimination audio on. Hide back bling, no. And then enable fire damage, yes. That is if you're gonna add fire in your map, of course. And then game winner display time, 5 seconds. Game score display time, 5 seconds. And then round score display time, 3 seconds. HUD info type, I'm gonna have this to none, because it'll show a little bit of a box on the right side under your map, and I doubt you want that. So max trackers on HUD 1, and then show cumulative stat value on HUD. This is the one you want to turn on. And so resource feed on elimination, yes. Use team score, no. Scoreboard win condition, I'm gonna have this set to eliminations. And then scoreboard tiebreaker, I'm gonna scoreboard win condition, score, and then scoreboard tiebreaker 1 eliminations. And then map screen display scoreboard, and then show cumulative scoreboard, make sure that is yes. And then after that, you can go to your custom victory callout, and if you want to add something, you can. I'm gonna add 1v1 champ, why that's capitalized, and then get better scrub. And then after that, you're going to go to your creative tab, go to your galleries, and then you want to search up the indestructible gallery. Click on that, and you can choose whatever options you want. Of course, I'm going to go with this floor down here. I already have it in. Wall right there, and then I'm going to choose this blue ramp right here. Now for this first one, you don't really need for this first method, you don't really need a indestructible gallery. However, if you don't want to change it every single time, then I would suggest you do keep the indestructible gallery. Since I'm just going to be like going through all of the methods, I'll be like showing a different kind of arena afterward. So I'm going to just show you how I would build a normal 1v1 map first. So what you want to do first is build out 5 in each direction, as so, 5 in the other direction, and then the last direction, like that. Now from here, pull out your ramp. That was a glitch. I don't know why that happened. Place it down in the middle. And as you can see, it already looks a bit weird. But from here, you just want to... I guess you could do this line here. Like that. And then just select all of it. And then press cut. And bring it to the opposite side. And then all you want to do is fill it in. Alright, once you're done, it should look something like this. If you ever need to change how the sides look, you can either add or like delete it. And then from there, I'm going to show you guys the first method. All you're going to need is you got to go to your devices tab. You're going to need your player spawn pad, of course. You are going to need a button. You are also going to need a creature placer, and then you are going to need, where's the trigger? You're going to need a trigger. Now first what you want to do is of course place down a spawn pad. Here are the settings for that. Go ahead and change enable during phase, gameplay only, and prior to group none. Use on start, yes. Visible games, no. Play audio, no. That's all you're gonna want to do for the player spawn pad. It'll be for the gameplay only. For this scenario, however, I'm gonna change it to all. Use on start, yes. So that way I will spawn here after I'm done with this thing. So what you're gonna do is grab your button, change your grip snap to 8, rotate it so that it's facing you. Settings for this will be interact time instant, times can trigger infinite, delay 1 second, reset delay 1 second, trigger sound, I'm gonna have that enabled on game start, enabled, interaction text, I'm gonna have this say build reset, and then visible in games, yes, interaction radius button, and then when interacted with, transmit on channel 500. I know 500 channels, amazing. Actually, no. 2, I'm gonna resize this a little bit. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So. Then I'm going to, I don't know why I cut it. And then from there, you can just select both of them and bring it to the opposite side. As such. Like that. And then go ahead and pull out your trigger. Here are the settings for that. Trigger by player, off. Trigger by damage, off. Trigger by vehicles, off. Trigger by creatures, off. Trigger by sequencers, off. Activate on game phase, none. Times can trigger, infinite. Transmit of extras, 1. Delay, 1 second. Reset delay, 1 second. And then trigger sound, trigger VFX. I'm going to turn these off. Visible in games, no. Receive damage while invisible. Damage not, do not take damage. Enable on game start, enabled. And then trigger when receiving from 500. And then when trigger transmit on 499. Pop that down. And then from here, pull out your creature placer. I'm going to place it down. Clear the settings for that. Creature type, we're going to change that to brute. Activation range 15. Spawn effects, visibility off. Activate on game phase, never. Despawn type, distance to spawn. Despawn range, set that to 20 tiles. Spawn only if needed, no. And then spawn when receiving from channel 500 and despawn when receiving from channel 490. And from there, you want to change your grid snap to 8. You want to bring it in 1, and then you would bring it to the right. And then same thing on the other side. If you're on the corner, bring it in 1, and then bring it to the left. And then from there, place down a cone, select the cone and both the brutes, and just go and press copy, and then you're gonna bring it to the opposite side, and you can just delete the cones. Now I'm gonna show you guys that this works really quickly. So I'm gonna start the game. Right, and I'm going to build 2 up, slide, build 2 up, slide, and then build reset. As you can see, it did in fact reset. The zombies spawned for an instant, however they dissipated right afterward. You'll get that little effect, however it will go away after a second. Once again, they'll come in and they'll break the builds. The one problem with this is that, let's say I place a wall here, let's say I place a wall here, and let's say I place a wall on the edge over here. Now the only thing wrong with this is that when the zombie spawns in, it only breaks that one build, doesn't break any of the other builds that are far away. So if you're like looking for a small, compact kind of 1v1, this is kind of what you would want. However, there are other methods, so I'm gonna go through those really quickly. Alright, so the second method, as you can see, I have objective devices and I have triggers over there. Now, if you guys remember, in my last video, I did this exact same thing. However, this time around, when you are to, let's say I start the game, I'm gonna start the game right now. I already have everything set up the way it should be, the same way as the last video. But now, if I were to, let's say, build up 2, it would now delete everything. Like that. And although it would still delete all the builds right afterward, like that, it does delete everything in your arena. So that's why I don't have that method in this tutorial this time. So we're gonna go into the second method, I guess you could say the last method. Alright, so for this third method, you are going to grab your, actually go to your My Island settings really quickly, and I want to make this extremely clear. Building can destroy environment, make sure that says no, and then environment damage, make sure that says off. So from there, we're going to delete 3 of the buttons again, and then go to your all options, or just go to your channel, and then when interacted with, transmit on channel 1. Everything else should be the same. I'm going to change the delay to none because we're not going to need a delay for this time. And then I'm going to just rotate it, create 2, paste down, paste it down, and then from there go ahead and place down a trigger. The settings for this, triggered by player off, triggered by vehicles off, and triggered by sequencers off. Activate on game saves, none. Times can trigger infinite. Delay 1 second. Trigger sound and trigger VFX, I'm going to turn those off. Visitor during games, no. Enabled on game start, enabled. And then trigger when receiving from channel 1, and then when triggered, transmit on channel 2. Those are going to be the only 2 settings you want to make. Put it right there, right under the trigger. And then from there, this last step, we are going to grab the explosive device, place that down in our inventory. I'm going to change the grid snap to 2, and then health, we're going to change it to indestructible. Blast radius, we're going to change that to 5. Player damage, 0. Structure damage, we're going to change that to 5,000. Damage indestructible builds, no. Knockback, off. Explode on proximity range, 10 tiles. Proximity delay, off. Time to detonation from round start, make sure that says off. Play audio VFX, no. Visible during games, no. Collision during games, only when visible. Slides with everything. And then scroll on down to where it says play audio, say no. And then explode when receiving from channel 1. And then go down to where it says reset when receiving from. We're going to change that to channel 2. Those are going to be the only settings you want to make. And I'm going to show you that this works really quickly. So I'm going to start the game. I'm going to spawn in. I'm going to do build up. Over here, build up, come down, press the button, and it deletes it instantly. And as you can see, it doesn't delete the floor, it just deletes the build. And I do not take damage from it either. So those are the 2 methods of building a 1v1 map. First, we'll build reset, of course. Now from there, I'm going to spice up this map to its fullest. Alright, so I'm going to make some changes to this map. I'm going to speed through this process so you guys don't have to watch the slow process that I'm doing. So if you guys want to do what I'm doing, go ahead and follow along. But I warn you, it's going to be pretty quick. So let's go. Alright, so I'm done with my 1v1 map. If you guys want to know how I fully did it, then ask me in the comments below. But in any way, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.